Hello, Internet. You're listening to the In Your House Comedy Podcast with the Babyface and his fellow funny friend. Now hold on to your butts. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Prepare to have an autographical orgasm in 3, 2, 1.
Is that recording?
It was recorded last time when I had you on here.
Yeah, of course it fucking was, isn't it?
But welcome everyone to the In Your House podcast. I am here with, for you guys for the first time, Gurps Cheema, but for us the second time because, my bad, I completely deleted the first podcast we did and I have no idea how I did it.
As you do when you have a podcast. So if you delete this one, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
If you delete this one, I'll like reimburse you for your time or something.
Anyways, how's it going?
Good, yeah, I'm good, man. How the hell are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Could be better.
Could you be better?
Oh, a lot better.
Why could you be better?
Based on this podcast being recorded, that's a start.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, yeah, I mean, the first thing we could say about it is you were just talking about the thing you wanted to promote. So just talk about that a little bit, man. Just pull people in, because I found it really interesting what you were saying. So
Okay, let's hope the Spotify audience does as well. So I'm on the
you
verge
got
of...
a fucking choice. They're going to listen now either way. Please don't leave.
Exactly. They can click off any
Please
second.
don't leave. I need you.
It's always good when you're begging for viewers.
I need you all. But carry on, sorry.
Anyways, that's the begging section done. Please stay...
He'll come back.
He'll come back. Anyway, so basically, yeah, I'm on the verge of launching this comedy experience on my YouTube channel. So that's YouTube/Gurps Cheema, if you can spell that. So yeah, basically, a brand new set.
Oh yeah.
Written.
That's crazy.
It is fucking... It's so fucking
But yeah,
stressful.
tell them first.
I got 4 episodes already planned out,
Really?
already made, recorded, edited. It's such a pain in the fucking...
Fill them in what it is, because I interrupted them by accident, sorry, because you already told me about it, so...
So every week I'll be posting a brand new set. Written, performed, edited and published. In 1 week.
Perform like at a gig as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm going to film that.
Does that mean you got to make sure you can find a gig a week as well? Which is sometimes hard enough.
That's hard enough, correct?
Yeah. Learn it.
Exactly. And then you got to hope you don't bomb.
Oh, fuck that. We could put a laughing track in, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's a secret of comedy, just a laugh track.
Laughing track like the old sitcoms.
Yeah, but it's like so obviously not.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in, though.
Yeah, I because you're talking about you being a filmmaker. I used to do it myself in college, and I made something get me a laughing track on and that, and it made it more funny just for the fact there was a laughing track there. It generally does work. It's a power suggestion.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not a big fan of that, though.
No, I know. But...
If you go to a comedy show, it's like genuine. But if you watch like all these like late night crap you see on YouTube, it feels so fucking fake.
They do. They hold. You mean like the late night like talk shows and that?
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah, yeah. Like they say sometimes, like Conan O'Brien says it a lot about how they hold up applause signs and that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How messed up is that? It's like being a dog. Hey, laugh now. Right. I wish I could do that on my comedy shows.
You could do it. You might not get a great response.
You never know. I'm gonna try that from now on.
I'm really interested though, because from what you just showed me about that thing, the editing on that was great. Like it looked legit. Like so. Yeah.
That's the plan.
Well, yeah.
If it didn't look legit, I don't really see the point.
No,
in
but
it.
you know, well, yeah, no, it's true. Like it doesn't look cheap at all, is what I meant.
Okay.
Because I'm comparing it to my stuff, and I'm thinking, yeah, my stuff look quite cheap.
Wait, you're saying that your stuff is cheap?
No, it
Are
looks
you
cheap.
joking?
No.
This setup in an
Oh, no,
old people's house, mate. This is the opposite
Not
of that.
this. I mean this. Because I used to do films and that, but that was like back in college and stuff.
By the way, speaking of him being cheap, he's even got like the monster from Aldi, the fake one.
Wait, whoa, this is the proper Aldi, proper monster. What are you about?
This is the proper Aldi. No, did I just mess up your shit? Okay.
Yeah,
No,
probably
I'm
messed up.
joking. That's the legit monster. He paid an extra 20p for that. So
Yeah,
he's definitely
recognise,
not cheap. He's so cheap, right? He made his own tank top by
Bill.
cutting your t-shirt.
But can you say it's cheap when I only did that to show off my tattoos that I spent money on? Yeah, you stumped now, bitch.
Am I?
I don't know. I hope so.
What happens
I ain't got
if-
anything else.
What happens if we combine obnoxious with cheap? I'm showing off my tattoos. Anyways,
Yeah,
moving on.
When you do that, because I'm gonna get up all these podcasts on YouTube soon as well, so I'll have to put a thing in my thing for your a link in my description for your stuff in that case. Definitely.
Okay, it's very simple. You just need to type in Gurps Cheema. That it's as simple as that. Okay.
Cheema.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think they'll get it. It's a fairly
Yeah.
It's very simple,
Not
this day
to
and
be
age.
confused with Gurps Nahasapima Petalon Cheema.
No, that's my second channel.
Oh, okay.
That is my side stuff. You can see all my vlogs on there and my family videos.
Do you remember hearing them get that? Because I was on about Apu then, from Simpsons. Did you see the thing about them making it was racist? Apu?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember that?
I don't fucking agree with that.
I know, cool.
It's not racist. It's just funny.
Yeah.
You shouldn't draw any lines in funny. As
Yeah.
long as it's funny, it's funny. And
That was very Patrice O'Neill then, after you were talking about him earlier. That was like how he talks about it, isn't it? It's about the funny and trying the funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many people that fucking complain this day and age. I was on a comedy collective. It's like a Facebook group on
On
Facebook.
It's a Facebook group on Facebook?
Can you believe that?
I cannot
Fucking
believe
hell.
that,
I thought Facebook groups were on Instagram.
Yeah,
But,
fucking witchcraft.
anyways, yeah, this lady comic, and that's the polite way of saying it. Female comic, non-binary female
Comic
non.
I'm dying again.
Bless you.
Thank you. Get on tight.
Anyways, female non-binary. That's not on purpose, by the way. Anyways, female non-binary,
Sorry.
really progressive, of no gender, sexuality, race, or
No,
we're not
fuck-
racist.
fuck-
That's what I'm trying to say.
I hate that stuff. It's like there's either females or there's males. That's it. There's no non-binary.
Ooh.
There's no binary. There's no I think I'm a
No.
dog. There's nothing. It's man and woman.
Or you can be a lobster.
That's it. That's not on Gurps. That's on me.
I identify as a fat cunt, and that's my excuse to.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to lead up to somewhere with that joke, but
Sorry, did I just jump in with my political getting annoyed then?
well, you kind of did. Okay, so
Sorry.
you know what? Actually, let's just focus on that. Let's just make this podcast as controversial as it can be.
Even though it was literally just saying let's try not to do that, but it's going to come back to it.
Exactly, that was the premise.
It shouldn't be controversial though. It is. There's nothing controversial about saying there's
That's
men
how
and women.
science works. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't care about facts
Yeah,
this day and
yeah.
age.
You can have opinion on facts nowadays, apparently.
I think it's always been that way, but yeah, it's getting a lot worse now. I think this political correctness movement is kind of killing comedy.
No.
It is to a large extent.
I could see why you'd say that. To be honest, I get what you're saying because a lot of comics will be afraid to say so much stuff now because of it, and because everyone attacks them. But at the same time, me personally, I look at it and I'm like, the world is fucking so stupid. It's all material
That's
because the
true.
world is so dumb.
Here's the thing, right? If you make a joke and the audience doesn't like it, fair enough. Fuck it. I won't
Yeah,
do that
whatever.
again. The
I don't know.
problem is...
Some audiences might, but yeah,
No, I see where you're coming from. But,
Yeah.
but the problem is some comics are having problems with that.
yeah.
And they're just jumping on each other. It's just like...
Oh, when the
That's the
comics get
fucking-
pissy at other comics.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot lately. Like, really?
Yeah, to a large extent.
Yeah.
Everywhere, like even in our little Birmingham community.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
London,
definitely.
Everywhere. That's fucked up. Comics, we should stand by each other.
And as well, on top of that, another thing that goes with that, I think, is because Facebook now, it's so easy to confront people and to make a point about stuff like that. Because back in the day, you used to hear about how comics didn't want to confront each other. But nowadays, it's so easy because of Facebook and that to confront and to name and shame, I guess, in their eyes. Then, yeah, everyone does it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen it loads, man.
It's just people jumping on each other and just like... I mean, fuck it. It's society. That's not going to stop me. I think the worst thing that can happen this day and age is they fucking end your career, murder your entire family and send you to Guantanamo because you once dressed like a priest.
How did we go from lose your career to murder your entire family?
That's kind of what happens. You know, generally, it's a broad term.
Yeah, it's broad term.
If you look at it broadly, that must have happened.
That's not a jump at all, you know, losing your career to losing your entire family. Not a jump.
To
Not at all.
ended up in Guantanamo Bay, getting tortured because you joked about paedophiles on Twitter.
Oh, I was, are you saying that then? I was watching a documentary the other day about people in the smallest prison. I'm sure it was Ireland, I think. It was a small prison where they get sent for really random shit. Like a
How
guy,
random? What's the most random thing?
Like, just from the top of my head, what I can remember, there was a guy saying he was in there for like 30 days for throwing a cup of water in his wife's face. Genuinely, and he's in prison for this. I'm not joking, man. Ireland, they put you in jail for everything, but they just put you in jail for hardly any time, that's all.
Holy shit.
There was loads more like it, I can't think off the top of my head.
So we went to the swimming pool, I splashed some water on her, and now I'm in prison. That escalated quickly.
Oh, yeah. I guess because he did it out of anger, but still, you know, throw some water in someone's face out of anger, it's not going to hurt them. I mean, they might drown for a second at the worst, I guess.
I mean, what was in the water though? Was there like Ribena in it? Because that changes everything. I think that's where you draw the line.
I would agree. Ribena that's too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Too far.
Exactly, because it gets sugary. Your
Especially
face
it's
gets
carbonated.
Sticky. Oh yeah, that makes it even worse. Whoa.
I'm bringing Vimto into it now.
Hashtag fuck Ribena. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know where we are at all.
So what's the second most random thing someone got sent to prison for?
You know what? I can't even remember the rest of them. There was something like that, but no, I can't remember what it was to be honest. But I remember thinking there was a PlayStation in there as well.
Let's take some guesses.
Someone guesses.
Someone vaped in a government building.
Someone vaped in a government building. Someone cut their toenails and it went into someone's tea. The governor of Ireland, so he wasn't happy.
What else?
That is kind of true then.
Someone watched and actually enjoyed Love Island.
Oh no!
Fucking send that bastard to prison. That's So what are your politics? This is it. If you watch Love Island, you should deserve to be in fucking prison.
I was about to say the only winners from Love Island were the ones that killed themselves, but I feel like I shouldn't say that. I've said it now.
And the same applies to the Jeremy Kyle show.
Oh, I can't believe they got rid of that and hadn't got rid of Love Island though, because it was both about someone killing himself after the show, effectively, wasn't it? I think.
But you know what? The way I look at it, it's like it's their own fucking stupid fault.
Oh yeah, they know what they're getting into.
No, definitely.
Oh yeah.
They just want to be famous for like 6 seconds, so they make a fucking idiot of themselves.
Well, Dave,
that's kind of what we do in comedy. So okay.
Yeah, but we're doing it for a reason. We have an end game, you know.
They had one too, apparently.
I
fucking myself.
Oh yeah. They had an end game, whether it was the one they wanted. Didn't wanted to avenge that end game.
No, I'm glad they shut the Jeremy Kyle show.
It'll come back.
Will it?
I reckon it will definitely come back because it was someone died because of the aftercare thing or something. They killed themselves. I can't wait to see
the trailer for that. One person killing themselves wasn't enough.
So
Jeremy is back.
I hate Jeremy Kyle. I had a teacher like him. I fucking hated him. It was just everything about him. I won't go into it. It was just
Okay, let's get into this. You're a teacher like Jeremy Kyle.
Oh yeah, he was just like Jeremy Kyle. Like there's nothing to it. I just used to I used to have arguments with him all the time. I wasn't the best behaved kid like the last couple of years of school, so I used to rub a lot of teachers up the wrong way, literally.
Okay.
They didn't mind. Yeah, there's no story to it, man. He was just a dick. That's
okay,
all.
That's the end of that.
There's no story to it. You know what I learned last night though? Random little fact.
Okay.
There's a city in Turkey called Batman.
Holy shit!
I
can't believe that.
It's true.
What was he named after?
Batman.
The film, the comic.
Yeah, it was a comic before a film. Yeah.
I know, right? What the fuck? What kind of world do we live in?
I have no idea where it came from. If it was named before or after. I just learned I'm pointless last night. Was it pointless? Yeah, it was pointless. It was pointless. It was a chase or tipping point. I like quiz shows.
Okay. There's the city named Batman.
Batman, yeah. Honest to God, a city in Turkey called Batman.
Is there like a Batman in that city? Or
I hope so. There's a Turkish Batman running around. Because only Batman.
And then there's a Turkish Joker.
That was actually one of the other answers, though.
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
Do you also really know what Turkish people sound like? Because I don't.
I can do like an Eastern European accent. But that's racist nowadays, so I can't even do that.
Well, it's not racist. What would it be? I'll try and do it as well.
What is going on? Now, that's kind of Russian, isn't it?
Yes, what is going on?
Do you want to know how I got these scars?
Yes, I do.
Yes, that was really Borat, wasn't it? Yeah. I got these scars by my father. Just like every Turkish father. Beat me. He raped me.
With a razor blade in the mouth.
He raped you with a razor blade in the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Makes
That
sense.
works. Just tied. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah,
Next,
yeah.
what's the next little fact that you
So
learned?
this is us trying to like think about stuff we talked about before, what we didn't talk about, and now trying to think of stuff to talk about. It's like let's just throw some random shit everywhere. Do you believe in ghosts?
Holy shit, that's a very original question. That's never been asked before.
What?
That's like a go-to TV question.
Well, I don't know what kind of TV shows you're watching, but I want to watch them if that's what they ask. I would love to see like Jeremy Clarkson ask someone on the fucking panel about it. Like,
Yeah,
Kyle, but
can you imagine? This guy is allegedly a rapist, but let me ask you a question that's more important.
do you believe in ghosts? But do you though? I've been watching. I've always had a big interest in this and history, and it all ties in my eyes and this stuff. So I was watching some more stuff last night.
Ghost tie-in. Sorry.
What?
Ghost tie-in with history.
Yeah, of course I do.
In what way?
Because there's always been stories of ghosts throughout all of history. When you actually look at history, you know, I have a difference of opinion on what ghosts are. I believe in ghosts, but I don't think they're dead people.
Okay. What are they?
In my opinion, if anything, it's like I fully believe in ghosts. Like,
okay.
I think it's like, you know, the whole concept of like alternate realities and that, and the fact that they're mathematically a thing.
Okay.
And if you look at the universe and you try and understand how it's, look at it, it's hard. You have to try and understand the concept of like looking past 3 dimensions. You know, the whole 4 dimensions, the fact that we're folded in on each other. If you look at it from a scientific, cosmic point of view.
Okay.
So in that sense, to me, if all these things are essentially, the whole universe is in the same space essentially. So to me, it's like bleed-throughs of different dimensions. That's the way I see ghosts as.
This show just turned into the Brian Cox show.
It does make sense because they say it's all folded and we can't perceive more than 3 dimensions because we're 3-dimensional beings. That's what we are.
Exactly.
So it gives credence to the afterlife as well.
That is a rather fascinating topic.
It is,
and I'm going to
it?
share my opinions on it that are based on no scientific background. I watched a documentary on the 4th dimension.
Really?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with ghosts.
Which is the 4th dimension? That would be is that space-time or just space?
No, it looks at the entirety of the universe, and it was a documentary.
There's
about
like 11
holes.
dimensions though.
Are there?
Technically, I think from what I don't know what they are. Like, but you might go on, carry on.
So where did we get our information from? A YouTube video that.
I don't know. Some YouTube videos are very well made, depending on who you watch, but the majority of them are bullshit.
Yeah, I've been watching lots of YouTube videos on Flat Earth.
Oh,
they're fucking bullshit. I just watch it and
amazing, aren't they?
There was this one guy just went to the Golden Gate Bridge. Was like, so this makes sense because this is, and then he didn't really have a point to make. Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. I'm just nicking some of Gurps' vape juice.
I don't vape. No, I do actually.
I don't vape, but take my vape juice.
I just carry some around. I don't know, Flat Earth, what do you reckon of that? What do you reckon of Flat Earthers?
What do I reckon of them?
Yeah.
The sphincter should have been swallowed.
That's
what I reckon of them.
You know, but they genuinely believe in what they're saying.
Oh, yeah. Religious people believe in religion, doesn't make it right.
My cousin is a Flat Earther. He
Really?
genuinely believes in this shit.
Is he religious at all, though?
No, yeah, I don't fucking know.
Only because I know it makes sense to me that a lot more religious people would believe in flat Earth because it keys into the whole. A lot of different religions say that the Earth is like, I don't know, like 10,000 years old or something like that.
You know what? I don't fucking believe in religion. They keep on. They change their book like every 4 years, just like.
Well, I don't think that's true.
Generally, like in I don't know, like 1963, they were just like, you know what? Black people are no longer bad.
Oh, they changed their opinions on stuff. Yeah.
Like how the fuck does that work?
Like the new Pope, didn't he recently in the last couple of years said it's basically he said, you know what, we're okay with gay people now.
Just like that. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? We got the backlash. It's like being it's a corporation.
I'll tell you exactly how that works. It works like you said because it's a corporation who made all these changes to the book like however many thousands of years ago, and now they're just like, society's got to this point. I suppose we better, it's all bullshit anyway, so we might as well agree to it.
I think their mindset works a lot like money. I need fucking money.
Oh man, the Catholic Church is like the worst ones by far. Anyway.
Scientologists, they're all bad.
Yeah, but I mean in regards to history and what they've done and stuff, and the Catholic Church is a fucking, oh my god. I was watching a random documentary the other day about the 3 most messed up popes.
Okay.
I can't remember all of them. None of them were that bad, to be honest. But it
Okay,
was
I know
one.
it's a documentary, but was that like a top 3 video on YouTube?
What do you mean?
No, it's just.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't a list thing like that.
Okay, okay.
It was on the internet.
Okay.
I hate that nowadays. You say YouTube on the internet, and everyone instantly like disregards it. It's like you can put any video on YouTube. There could be the most,
Oh mate, I've come across some weird fucking videos. I love YouTube. I love going like diving deep.
Yeah, deep diving
into YouTube.
Yeah.
There's this one guy. Mate, he's like a really fun kid, and he does like cooking videos where he like teaches you how to cook.
Okay.
But he lives in like a shithole, like to a large extent. Like half the pans in his haven't been like washed in like 25 years, and he's got like.
So it's cooking for students.
Sorry.
Cooking for students.
I don't think that's the one.
No, I'm saying it.
Okay.
Cooking for students.
Unless you've been a student for 25 years now.
Oh, is he an old dude as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in his 40s, and he teaches you how to cook, but he makes the weirdest shit you can possibly imagine. He blended some sausages with ketchup, and then he drank it, and then he was like, and then he just said, this was a bad idea. Don't make this at home.
Fair enough.
And,
what good stuff did he make? Give me. Can you remember any decent stuff you made?
No,
Semi-decent compared to that, anyway.
He made some boiled eggs, and that was a 15-minute video on how to make boiled eggs.
Oh, so he can't cook?
No.
Oh, okay.
It took him 15 minutes, and he records everything with this little shitty camera, so he's cooking with one hand.
Oh, God. So to be fair, though, once you have kids, you do learn you can do loads with one hand. Because you're constantly having to hold one of the children. I've learned to do so much with one hand now.
Okay. I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids, but I can still do a lot with my left arm. Because the right one is busy, usually.
Masturbating.
Let's jump into that. I'm a comedian, by the way.
Can we just masturbate too? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's. I think that was the joke.
You never answered my question.
Do I believe in ghosts?
Do you believe in ghosts?
So really, there's a few ways I could put this, but the answer is no. I don't really believe in ghosts. Okay. I do believe in aliens.
Okay, that's to be fair. There's no way that aliens couldn't exist.
Exactly. The universe is infinite.
Okay, we'll go to that in a second because that's actually right underneath. Look.
Is it really? Have you got Area 51 right on there?
No, do you believe in ghosts and aliens?
Oh, and aliens. Okay.
Why don't you believe in ghosts though? We'll quickly just.
Because I haven't ever seen any. I don't know.
Do you not find any of these stories you've ever heard compelling?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So matter of fact right now, I don't know what to say back to it. Okay.
Let me tell you a story. No, okay, listen. There's so many people with their fucking stories out there. There's people that have seen the Bigfoot.
Oh, that's dumb. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You've never seen me and the Bigfoot in the same
Wait, do you
photo.
believe in Bigfoot?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool.
Just gonna make a joke there.
No, that's fine.
No, the joke is you've never seen me and the Bigfoot in the same photo. How do you explain that?
God knows.
Exactly. But I don't believe in ghosts because I don't know. There's no compelling evidence. It just sounds like a load of shit. I don't believe in afterlife.
See, there is a lot of evidence out there, though. It's just
wait, what?
So much evidence, but it's one of them. People always say once you get to a certain, in the last 10 years with cameras and stuff, how they are now. People are like, well, where's all the evidence? Considering all the cameras we've got, and there's loads.
No,
but people say,
let me rephrase that point. There's plenty of evidence. There's like a redneck on national TV that just wanted to get on. Let me tell you my opinion about this.
It's one of them. Everyone looks at it and just instantly disregards it. That's my only issue with it. Everyone looks at all the videos and just instantly disregard it because it could be faked. Of course, it could be faked.
I've heard stories of ghosts. I enjoy them.
Yeah,
it's entertainment.
It is.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I believe in them.
Okay, but you're open to it in a sense, then.
I'm not open to them existing, but I don't mind stories about ghosts.
Okay. I'm going to show you some stuff later or some other time. I probably won't, but...
Thanks for clearing that out of the podcast.
Yeah.
This is how radio works.
So aliens then, yeah. So you believe in aliens, naturally you have to.
Well, I don't believe they're here.
Oh, no, you're not one of those people that believe that we've had, that they're flying around all the time and stuff.
No, actually, I got some I was reading this document. It was a genuine read about that case that happened. The Roosevelt case.
Is it the WikiLeaks? The Roosevelt case?
Yeah, the one happening in America. It's like a tourist attraction now.
Roswell.
Roswell, sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Roosevelt was the president.
He was the president, yeah. No, basically, what happened there is something fell out of the sky.
Mm-hmm. I've actually watched something very recently about this, so I'm actually quite, I'm an evidence at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Then. We're going to have a conversation here, finally, on a podcast. Anyways, so yeah, basically, something fell out of the sky.
Yeah.
And no one could pinpoint exactly what that was. And that was during the Cold War.
Yes.
So now here's the deal. They used to have sonars under the ocean that would detect the nearest ships in like a 500-mile range.
Yeah.
The American army, they discovered.
I think I know what you're going to say.
They could put that in the skies.
They hypothesized they could.
And they actually did.
They tried.
They put that on a fucking airplane.
No. It wasn't an airplane. It was they had a boat, and they had a giant. This is the idea. They had a giant, huge balloon that kind of looked more like a parachute sticking from the bottom. So it's like, imagine it going up like bigger and bigger, like a balloon.
Yeah.
And then it went so high that it was effectively the height of an airplane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it fell over, and that's what that was.
Yeah, that's one of the theories. But then you look at it, and the guys who called it in said that basically, if that was true, that thing would have been made from really light plastic, really light stuff, like really malleable materials. But the stuff that the first guy who got there and a few of the guys after it, because it took like 2 days before they turned around and said, no, it's a weather balloon. First couple of days, the army guy that went down there was like, there was this metal that I could roll into a ball and let go, and it would spring back into the shape it was. There was this other metal that was thicker, other metal, and all this stuff. He was saying that because he worked with this kind of like materials.
Was he retarded by any chance?
No.
I'm just asking.
He was actually a specialist in aeroforce materials or something like that, and he was a specialist looking at it. That's why they called him. And he was like, "No, none of this material is anything we use. It doesn't work for anything." And then, long story short, like a few days later, this other guy came in and said it's not that, and made him say it was like plastic, and it's bullshit anyway. That was
okay. Fair
it really was. I'm not defending it well at all.
A part of me does hope that aliens exist.
Yeah.
But in my mind, they don't look weird. They look very human-like.
Yeah.
Although I'm just hoping they got like 3 tits, and that would sell it. I'd be I'd change my sexuality for that. From now on, I'll only fuck aliens. Let's get some of that alien pussy.
Oh god. But in all honesty, just with the Roswell thing, I don't actually believe that. I don't think Roswell was an alien thing. I just think it was very badly handled. But I don't think it was that what you said. I don't really know. I don't know.
I don't think anyone does.
Some people do. But
okay.
But have you ever heard of Bob Lazar?
Yes, I have.
Okay, what do you know about that?
He's the guy that was he was put at Area 51, wasn't he?
He was on S5, which is like a substation of Area 51.
Exactly.
But he worked through Area 51, yeah.
And then he quit, and now he's like advocate for like, you're never gonna believe the shit that I've seen.
No. He did quit, or he got forced out, whatever you want to believe. But ever since then, that was in like the end of the 80s. He hasn't.
Oh yes, right. Actually,
he doesn't like talking about it.
He predicted all the technology that was gonna 80% of the technology that was gonna kick in, like
stuff that he's seen, that he said he'd already seen in those places, and then lo and behold, it came true.
Which
all
is
of it,
insane.
including an element that before this was never element 115. He talked about an element that he'd seen, and they'd theorised how to make it from crafts they'd found. And he was like, "Oh, this element exists." Blah blah. I described it, and they're like, "No, you're crazy." And like 10 years later, "Oh, yeah,
we found
made it. You're right. Okay, fair enough."
Fair enough. Back to hating this guy because
he got destroyed by the government, man. Like they were chasing him around. They were taking shots at his friends, at him. He got some of his friends, like their businesses closed down just because they knew him and they helped him and stuff. So anyone who was around him was getting screwed over. So he got, like pushed away a bit. And then even another 10 years later, he did this new documentary. It's on Netflix.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're talking about him, and we have something to do with him. We're gonna shut this podcast down. All right, sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they were doing the documentary and then got raided. The FBI raided him just after he left and quoted the conversation he had with the guy, so it proved they bugged him and everything. And this was only about 5 years ago, if that. It's still going on now, and they're still looking for this element 115 that they think he might have actually stolen out, which proves everything he said. But he doesn't want to talk about it, though. He hates talking about it.
I have a conspiracy.
So one more thing, all the money people are like, maybe he's doing it for the money, but all the money he made from this new documentary, he donated back into the science community straight away, every single bit. His dirty money.
No, but we should worship this guy. It's good.
You know what I'm saying though, it's compelling. It's compelling.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more with that.
Watch it, man. If you haven't watched it, it's really interesting.
Okay, will do. I was going to say, I do have a conspiracy, because we did actually briefly mention this in the last podcast.
Okay. I love conspiracy theories. Anything where you can look at them and just free think about it, look at it from all angles.
Exactly. Anyways, we actually mentioned this story in our very last podcast, and I think that Jeremy Kyle and the CIA purposely deleted that, because we mentioned the Jeremy Kyle show, and we mentioned the CIA.
What is CIA? Is that the new...
Central Intelligence of America.
CIA.
So, what did I say?
CIA.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it.
Wait, Jeremy Kyle and the CIA?
Yeah, that's the conspiracy. They came to your house, they broke and entered, Jeremy Kyle himself, and they deleted that file.
What file?
The podcast file. Because we talk about
okay.
That's the conspiracy. Honestly, I'm going to advocate for this.
So just to clarify, we're saying that the CIA and Jeremy Kyle broke into my house to delete the podcast.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a big deal.
I can see it happening.
I think we should make a documentary about this.
You know that.
Conspiracy. It unfolds. Anyways, we'll make a documentary about this. We'll make a documentary about
Jeremy
this.
Kyle Files.
Exactly.
Kyle Files.
The Kyle Files.
That's actually a program already.
Is it really?
Yeah, Jeremy Kyle Files.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll give it a different name. We'll make a documentary about this. CIA and Jeremy Kyle. All the funds will go towards fucking Jeremy Kyle.
I'm trying to think. Jeremy Kyle and the CIA. Who's the daddy? That works.
Who's the daddy? The documentary unfolds. Who cares about the guy that killed himself? He allegedly deleted a file of us ranting for an hour about nothing.
I don't even remember the fact we was talking about Jeremy Kyle.
I don't think we were.
I think we were a bit. No, we were a little bit, I think.
Did we? Okay.
I don't know, we'll pretend now.
Anyways, moving on.
I think that personally makes more sense than anything else. Exactly. I don't see how it could be any other explanation.
That makes more sense than having more than two genders.
Exactly.
That is more plausible than anything that's happening.
Doesn't anything make more sense than having two genders?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ghosts make
There's
more
more
sense.
than two genders, everyone, and I'm offended by your use of like a pronoun that's in the dictionary. Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly, I can't stand that shit.
I know. Like, do it if you want to do it. That's fine. Like, cut your dick off. Cool, whatever. Put a vagina there. More power to you.
I love how you casually said that. Sure, I'll just cut your dick off, man. Put a clit in there. It's fine.
It's sure, whatever, man.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more. I met actually one of Luke's mates. He's a drag queen.
One of whose mates?
Luke.
Oh, Luke McDonald.
Yeah. One of his mates. He's a drag queen in Vietnam. And we had a heated debate.
Whoa. Luke's got a mate who's a drag queen in Vietnam.
Yeah, he's a white guy. He moved to Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's not a Vietnamese drag queen.
Yeah.
Not that matters anyway.
No, but it would just be like, what the fuck would you meet a Vietnamese drag queen?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Anyways, I actually had a conversation about it, about what you can and can't joke about.
Oh, with him?
Yeah, because I made some jokes about trannies and that kind of stuff. And he was surprisingly cool with it.
It's usually the people who it would affect don't care. It's the people around them who get offended on their behalf most of the time.
And that is the biggest problem with society.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if you're a white guy or a white girl that wants to be offended on the behalf of any other race, go for it. But if you think about it, there's not one black dude that's ever been offended by the N-word in my life anyway.
Well, I don't think that's true.
in my life, people that I've met myself.
People that you know.
However, every single white person that I know gets offended by that.
Really?
And I don't like putting labels on this shit.
Is that actually true?
Honestly.
Because I've said that you're a generation below me, so I hear about this. But really, like, if you said that around a white guy, they'd like, if you said that around me, you know what I mean, around other white guys, so that you know that your age, they'd get offended.
They would, to a large extent. I have some mates that get offended by me using the word packy.
Oh God!
And I'm like, thanks for getting offended on my behalf.
Yeah, you
by
can
something that I just said. So how can you call yourself a packy? All right, calm down here.
Because I think I'm a dinosaur in Jurassic World.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's actually rather patronising if that's how you
it is actually.
Because you can't fucking do this shit, not this day and age. Just deal with it, live with it, that's life. And I don't think there should be any boundaries on comedy.
I don't think there should be. I've talked about this a few times. People get way too pissy. I love when people get pissy personally.
Oh yeah, I enjoy that.
Yeah, I love that sound. Ooh.
I got this my old free guy. I probably shouldn't mention this, but if you go on Reddit and you look for a Canadian lesbian, that's the username. That is secretly me, and I'm a troll.
Not secretly anymore.
Exactly, not secretly, but that's fine. I don't mind coming up. Trolling people online.
Troll.
Yeah.
Trolling.
Not
trolling.
Right, thanks for fucking mentioning.
You and Ethan have such weird ways of pronouncing words. It's such a both of you.
It's really.
Yeah.
That's why we host a podcast together, I think.
Yeah, that's what I just put you guys together because I see that stuff. So you have too many characteristics that work together. Oldie. Troll. I'm gonna troll him.
That is accent shaming, and I'm rather offended on behalf of all German men for some reason. I don't fucking
German men. They're my hometown. My home men.
Are they? That sounds gay.
My name's fully German. Carl Hinken. Carl with K. Hinken.
Okay.
What for the age?
Can you speak German?
Oh no. And I'm not German either.
Okay. Just pick a German name.
I didn't pick it. Well, I did pick the last name. It's my mum's maiden name. My name used to be Carl Bates.
Okay.
And
you went with the Hinken?
Because I had kids, so I wanted my mum's maiden name. I'm not close to my dad. But I loved my name Bates.
It's a massive fuck you to your dad.
Well, but he's a dickhead.
Okay, now the story's unfolding. Let's dig deep into this. Alright, why is he a dickhead? Did he rape you as a kid? I didn't mean to bring this up.
That wasn't an issue though.
Okay, you enjoy that. Okay, fair enough.
It's not really rape if you agree to it, let's be fair.
Okay,
even if they showed surprise.
Okay, so you're disappointed in your dad because he wanted to be raped.
I tell you,
and he wouldn't do that.
The one good thing my dad did was give me his name because it was Bates, and the best thing about that was up until I was 16 in the UK, you know, you normally get Mister on your letters.
Okay.
Up until you're 16, you get Master.
Okay.
My last name was Bates.
So you're Master Bates.
My letters said Master Bates on them. All through school, that was my nickname naturally, and through. I only changed it like just before I had my kids, so like most of my life. I used to say masturbates by name, masturbates by hand. Or masturbates by name, masturbates by nature.
I really want to see your teachers just shouting, Where's masturbates? Masturbates! Stop it!
Whoa. My teachers didn't call me masturbates.
Okay.
Why would they?
Well, if you were masturbating in the class, they would probably call you out for it.
Yeah.
Stop masturbating.
Stop masturbating. You may be masturbating, but I'm debating with you about masturbating.
Anyway, so you took your mom's maiden name?
Oh yeah, I took my mom's maiden name when I had kids, and then I got my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you got kids.
I know.
Honestly, you look like the kind of person that shouldn't even be allowed near kids.
Whoa!
No offense, by the way. Okay, no offense. That makes.
I'm not saying I disagree with you, but whoa!
That is factually correct. However,
that is factually correct, and I'm annoyed at you, sir,
for pointing out the facts.
Damn you and your flawless logic.
No, honestly, I couldn't believe when you said you got 2 kids.
I understand it. Normally, when I say it, the first thing people ask me is, "How old am I?"
That was my go-to question.
There you go.
How old are you?
Are you actually asking? Or?
Yeah.
Oh. 28.
Okay.
I'm older than people think.
And you got 2 kids at 28.
Yeah, I had my first one at 21.
Holy
21?
shit!
Yeah, he's 8 now.
Did you not hear of the bullshit? No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna jump into that.
We ran out of coat hangers.
Yeah, that was.
We was living in a single floored house.
Okay.
So there was no stairs to push it out.
I bet that was you being lazy. She was like, "Hey, you want to get a condom?" Nah. Fuck it.
Full disclosure, I hate condoms. I've had sex like once or twice with condoms. I'm like, never again. I've been in sexual situations where I was a slag, and they pull out a condom, and I'd look at it and be like, I could just rather not. And
wait a second, you hate condoms?
Oh yeah, it's like what? It's like fucking a plastic bag.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're a kid at 21 and you hate condoms?
Yeah. Hence why. There are dots to connect here.
So was that kid planned?
No.
Was he not?
We didn't find out until because we'd only started seeing each other about a month before. Me and the girl, we met at a media company I used to work at.
Was she fit? Like very fit?
Oh yeah, she was hot as hell back then. I mean, she's a dick now. I mean, another she's a twat now.
I'm locking this in now.
No, she's a lovely person. Oh, let me phrase that.
Are you saying that just because we're on?
No. I don't want it down.
Sorry,
that much anyway.
Didn't mean to say anything.
She's an amazing mom.
Okay.
She's an amazing mom. She's just a terrible human being. It's one of them, you know. We argue. We're not together anymore, so we argue. But we're good enough friends, so it's fine. I can take the piss out of her, and she won't take me to small claims court.
And we will be right back after the messages from our sponsors. There's not too many. There might be nudity. Hey. Come the bush, come the bush. For anyone who lives anywhere near Cradley Heath or just people who live in Birmingham, you can get there. It's down Dudley kind of way, somewhere in between there. I don't drive, I don't know geography. But it's called the Hollybush Pub, and the reason I'm telling you about it is every Thursday they do a comedy open mic night. It's something that I've done myself quite a few times. A lot of the comedians I know do it regularly. It's a good place to go and watch up and coming acts and a few professionals too. It's also really nice place. The people are sound, and it's a proper nice little room as well. They've got a back room too. They've got an outside beer garden. That's what it's called. Couldn't think. And it's just a really nice place. So, like I said, every Thursday comedy open mic night. And if you haven't been to the bush before, to the Holly Bush that is, there's only one thing I'll say, and that is, come the bush, come the bush. Why don't you come to the bush? Come the bush, come the bush. But please don't come on it. But yeah, so without further ado, I will stop talking to you about advertisers now. I can stop feeling like a shell of a man, and I will put you straight back to the In Your House comedy podcast. Take it away. I love you. Good night.
I love the fact that being friend-zoned is bad enough, but all divorced people, they essentially got friend-zoned. Yeah, the ones with kids.
I was saying this to Ethan before, because when he was on his podcast, you probably heard the story. He's telling me about his breakup story. He went in all of that.
Hell, again.
Yeah,
he told that story to every single person.
I made him in this one, to be fair. He said that he told this story, and I made him tell it, and I'm glad I did. But
if you don't like that version of the story, you can check out the one of the other 50,000 podcasts where he told that story.
Yeah, but this is the best one. Okay. The only podcast that's as good as this one is 1 minute long.
Oh yeah, of course.
There you go.
That's a plug to my 1 minute podcast. No. Okay, the best thing about this podcast is the intro. It's so fucking unnecessary, but I love it. Well, get ready for an erection. What?
Get ready for the In Your House podcast with the Babyface. That's not me, that's the goth doing that. My gothic amigo.
I genuinely thought I was the goth because he posted my photo and I was like, is he really fucking calling me goth?
Goth. Yeah, because you were originally labelled was going to be episode 5.
Okay.
And then when I recorded episode 6, the Babyface and the goth, I was recording it under the impression that your one would come out first. Okay. Hence why in the podcast I was talking about how the one before this was Gurps.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was after that I realised, oh shit, I've deleted it.
I'd love that. That's gonna fuck with some listeners in the future. Okay, what the fuck is it?
Yeah. If anything, I'd be like, I'd be going to a detective on it.
Yeah.
Where is it? What happened to this? There's a cover up.
And then entirely ignored the episode after.
Yeah.
It's like it must be before it. He said that. That's what I thought. It's alright. Moving on. That's a bad experience in my life. Getting that message. Your podcast got deleted. I drove all the way down here. Okay, sat here for 2 fucking hours.
You are the most punctual comic I've ever met. Yeah. So has that just killed your energy?
No, that hasn't killed my energy. It's just like, okay, thanks, I guess.
Sorry, you said something in the middle of it that made me think of it. Sorry, my mind works weirdly.
I am rather punctual. I got here 15 minutes early.
Yeah. I think the earliest someone's been before that was 5 minutes late.
Oh, that's the earliest. Okay, fair enough. So,
what was you saying a second ago? Because I did interrupt you completely. Sorry, you was about to rant about something or something.
I was ranting about this fucking podcast and the professionality of it. I don't know why you helped me back on that.
Yeah, maybe I should have been.
Yeah, exactly.
In that case.
Anyways, moving on. What's next?
So you know what, man? Forget the notes. Just tell me some shit you're into. What kind of stuff do you like? You know, just free form it here.
Like feet porn. No, I'm not. You know,
Feet are cute. There's nothing wrong with feet. I don't get turned on by them, but I've always said there's nothing wrong with them. I don't know why people get grossed out by them.
Do people get grossed out by feet?
I know a few people, yeah.
Well, it depends on the feet, I guess.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
talking about all...
I'm not actually into feet, by the way, so that was a dumb joke I just made. Okay, so what am I
I
into?
can appreciate myself sexually. Okay, then.
Let's talk about my sexuality. No, I'm joking. Let's not do that.
Whoa, we ain't got enough time.
That's going to be a long rant. It starts up with, I'm not gay, however.
However,
that's the...
So, I mean, like, when you were home and stuff, you know, just what kind of stuff would you watch? What would you do? What would you...
Porn. Like, hardcore. I got some weird, fucked up shit on my phone.
Oh, man, people that know me know that, yeah, that's me too, don't worry.
Hashtag me too. Honestly, you get eye-raped by the shit that some people send you.
Wait, what?
I got some videos of, like, a guy fucking a snake.
Wait, wouldn't it be more a guy getting fucked by a snake?
No, it's a guy fucking a snake.
But don't I guess snakes do have pee holes?
Yeah.
Oh, is it in the mouth or is it in the vagina?
In the vagina.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He put his cock in it.
Dude, how do you fight? God, is that a big snake?
It was a fucking massive snake.
Oh, okay, that makes it a bit better. At least.
And that's not a euphemism for his cock. Okay, a tiny cock but a massive snake, and he just had it in jammed up in there. I felt bad for the snake.
What? Maybe the snake liked it.
I guess so. But it was like holding it in a weird way. It was just like had his, was holding his head and just looking right at it as he was getting turned on by that.
I like that you said he was holding it in a weird way. Is there a normal way to hold a snake while you're raping it?
Honestly, that is snake rape. If you think about it.
That is snake rape.
I can't wait for Peter to jump on this.
Huh?
I can't wait for Peter. Peter?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Peter?
I don't know. P-E-T-R. That one.
P-E-T-A.
Peter, yeah.
Peter.
I don't know.
Yeah, those fucking...
It's an acronym, you can pronounce it how you want.
Yeah, I think what I lack in life is a cause, something that I can get offended by. Honestly, I need something. Let's come up with something I should be offended by.
I wish I had the direction in my life that you have now, because it took me to 28 to figure out I want to do comedy. You figured it out at 20, so you can't say that.
18. Yeah.
Whatever.
To be exact.
Dickhead. Take it back a few years. Make it feel worse. 10 years, alright.
Alright, he's made it now.
Wait till you have children, don't you?
That's when it all goes away.
That's when...
Honey, can I go to a comedy show?
Ah, you fucking can't! Get in the house now!
Sorry for stating how I felt about something.
You're not allowed to have opinions or interests other than me.
Fucking hell, yeah, that's why I don't have a girlfriend anymore.
Yeah, that's
I had
why.
to dump her. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's the only reason why, by the way. It's nothing to do with me being a loser or a twat. It's a conscious decision made by the girls that I kind of chat up.
Oh, God. I feel for you. Like,
you feel, okay, thanks for that. That just makes it worse.
No.
Sorry, I feel bad for you. Alright.
I was going to say for your generation in general. I can't imagine what it's like for, like, someone your age going through the whole, you know, like, awkward sexualness of, like, being 20 and all that, or, like, from, like, 18 and older in today's PC-ness.
Oh, yeah. It's
ball ache.
fucked up. You could be, like, outside or, like, chatting to a girl, and then it's going well, and then she just stops. Wait a second. I'm actually turned on by toasters. I'm not into dudes.
I'm too drunk for this. For conversation?
Hang on. I'm too drunk for this. That's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
It should be, I'm too drunk for this. Brilliant. Let's get on with it. Okay, no, actually, no. That's got like a really rapey vibe to it.
No, I know what you mean.
Actually, yeah,
if you're both drunk, it doesn't matter. If you're both falling over the floor, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah.
I think it does.
What? No, if you're both drunk, it's like the concept of after a girl wakes up the next day. It's a whole culture about how you hear some people. Obviously, there's loads of general rapes.
General rapes.
Actual rapes.
There's different types of rapes.
But there's loads of girls that wake up the next day, don't remember having sex, don't remember consenting, and then assume they were raped by the guy they're lying in bed with. That's stupid. You can't just assume just because you don't remember or you regret it.
I think that's what happened with Bill Cosby.
That's not what happened with Bill Cosby.
Well, I couldn't remember that shit. I don't think.
Well, no, okay, but they couldn't always remember it. Sometimes they woke up during it, though.
That is. Did they really?
Some of them, yeah. I only remember because Jim Jeffries or someone was talking about. Imagine waking up and Bill Cosby is 2 fingers deep in you, and it's like, hold on, yeah.
Honestly, that is. What's up with Bill Cosby though? Like, was he just trying to get laid, or is that like a weird fetish that he had?
He was trying to get laid. He drugged them, so they were knocked out, and then he got laid. Okay. And they got laid. It's just only one of them was conscious.
Okay. Ugh. And you get a knock on your door.
There's a knock on the door. Hold on, podcast people.
And meanwhile, I will be entertaining this podcast. This is a live commentary on what's happening. Okay. Except it's not. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bada bum bum bada bum bum bada bum. Baby's £1.15 now. But she's got narrowing of the aorta, the left side of the heart. She's got to have an operation a few days after she's born. Just press the pause button before I can get up. Okay. It's got to be at least £6.
How about that, people? Had my mum knock at the door for some fucking reason. I don't even remember what we was talking about now.
So what that means is he's definitely a made comic. We're actually filming this in his mum's basement, and she's rather unhappy. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about this. There's another podcast called Your Mum's House, and I do it at my mum's house. I do my In Your House podcast
this
at
is
my mum's
plagiarism.
house.
Plagiarist! I don't know.
It's not, I do have my own place, just to clarify. It's just this is...
That's a great excuse any guy has. When like chatting up a girl, she's like, "Do you live with your mum?" No, I do have my own place.
I have a put on like ensuite and everything because it's a house share. We were talking about something a second ago. We were talking about relationship-y stuff.
Yeah, we're giving relationship advice. We were giving relationship advice as per the words of Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about Bill fucking Cosby, weren't we? Or Bill Cosby fucking more like.
Yeah, like, is that a weird fetish, or did he just want to get laid?
I think it was just his thing. Yeah, it was his fetish.
That's exactly what I think. Because he could have fucked anyone he wanted anyway. Well, he kind of did, but like in a consensual way.
Yeah. That is, it's like a dominance kind of thing, ain't it, I guess.
Yeah, just like...
The thing I don't get is, you know the whole Me Too thing, we've talked about this before.
Why are these people going to jail for raping? I just don't get it.
No, but this is the point though. Too many people look at the Me Too thing and it's a big long line. Like you look at, I don't know, like Harvey Weinstein, and I know Bill Cosby wasn't with that, but let's just say Bill Cosby's there too on that end, you know, right at the one end of it. And then at the other end, you've got the minor stuff.
And they all fall into one category.
They all fall into one category.
Yeah, that's fucked.
And one of Aziz Ansari was one of them. I don't know too much about his case though. But
I do. I've actually looked into that, done my research.
Okay, tell me about that one first, because Louis C.K. I know more about.
Well, Louis C.K. that's also a big one. But Aziz Ansari, he had a bad date.
Yeah, I have heard that thrown around.
Basically, just went out with a girl. They ended up in bed, and she didn't want to have sex. However, she just kind of went with the flow and gave him a blowjob or some shit. I don't know. That's it, really. That's all that happened.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. So, they went on a date.
Yeah.
She didn't want to have sex, but she got into bed with him and gave him a blowjob.
Correct, and they had sex as well, I'm assuming. But she didn't really want to have sex.
But he didn't force her.
He didn't force her. She did it anyway, just because she felt pressured.
So she doesn't have the balls to say no, even though she could have.
Exactly.
And that's his fault.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry for not being psychic. My bad.
And yeah, he got so much shit for it.
Yeah, because he's one of them. Yeah, who's like just thrown into that category now.
Well, his new Netflix special. He was like a liberal soy boy cuck before.
What's that soy boy mean?
Soy boy is just like a beta male rather than alpha.
Oh, okay.
So he's not as dominant. They're more like, like progressive little cucks. It's like, you're offending girls. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm just trying to get
social justice warrior kind of thing.
Yeah, like dudes that do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like feminist guys. There's nothing wrong with being a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
Exactly, common sense.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
don't fucking rape anyone and
Yeah.
don't be a dick. But at the same time,
Well, I'm also of the opinion that women are generally better than guys.
oh yeah, by a mile.
Yeah, they are. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Is it down to something they have between their That's pretty much it. That's what my whole thesis is built upon.
at the same time, the majority of women that I know, once they have children, they do go a bit crazy. But I think that's just because most of their frame of mind goes towards being a mum and looking after the kid and all that. And I think other things, they just naturally just get missed. And that's why guys who are in a relationship don't see them as going crazy, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly, it just comes down to that. It's all about like beta and alpha. By the way, that is politically incorrect to say beta male and alpha male.
In what way?
Well, what's an alpha male?
An alpha male is like the top dog.
Exactly, dominant. They got confidence.
Oh, me.
Exactly. And then you got the beta male who's just like a nerdy little kid who just...
If only we had one of them in here right now.
Exactly. You got two here.
Yeah, let's be honest.
It's a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
With
basically...
beautiful nerds, it's fine, man.
That should be the name of this podcast.
The beautiful nerds.
The in brackets, not so beautiful, very so nerds.
That will definitely be the subtitle now, don't you worry?
And very accurate as well.
Oh crap, I'm blown towards the fire. Fucking things. Disappointed.
That out of context doesn't make sense. Okay, he's vaping and he wasn't blowing towards the fire. Smoke detector.
Smoke detector, that's it. Words, news, can't think sentences.
And we are comedians, by the way.
Oh yeah. All my life I've done jobs that all revolve around like having to talk to people, you know, like gifts of the gab kind of thing, like debt collecting and all that, trying to persuade people to pay or sales and stuff like that. Fuck knows why, because I can't. My voice.
I was gonna say actually, before he got really offended by it, he was about to cry. Next
I'm going to cry again in that case.
Here's a question for all the listeners to this podcast. Okay, have you got like a Twitter page or a Instagram page?
Not a Twitter, I've got a Facebook.
Facebook page. What's it?
Facebook and YouTube and Instagram
Okay.
and Bebo. I had a MySpace at one point.
Okay.
I've got my face on a couple of wanted posters.
He's also on a phone book. You can find him on the phone book.
You can also find me on your mom.
Ooh, hey. Anyways, any of the social media posts or the phone book or the wanted, or if you can just check your local register sex offender register. Anyways, any of these places you can go on there and could you please leave a comment, just detailing how you picture this guy looks like.
Yeah, please do. Actually, I'll be interested in that.
That's gonna be honestly very interesting.
I'd be very interested to see that.
So if you're just on Twitter, you can tweet it at me at Gurps Cheema, or you can go on his Facebook page, Instagram page, and all that stuff. And just please leave a comment. Just what do you reckon this guy looks like, just based on his voice? Because these answers are going to be funny.
See, I have been told before that I've lived in Birmingham all my life, but I've been told I got like an Irishy, Scottishy accent before by people.
I don't think I do. I think it's just misinterpreting the lisp, you know.
Irish, I think you know what? That's a kind way of putting that.
Wait, what? So I just sound like an idiot.
Well, I'm honestly okay.
You sound like you're not fully there, sir.
Anyways, okay. Before
You sound very special with a capital R.
Special with a capital R. Or retarded with a capital S.
It's almost like that was the same joke.
Exactly, almost like it. And that's how plagiarism works.
That's how plagiarism works.
Anyway, but before anyone calls me out on hypocrisy, because my voice sounds rather unique on its own.
Well, actually, yeah, you have a unique accent, to be fair, but that makes sense. So, from what I learned about you last time.
Exactly, which they won't fucking hear because of.
I was so bad. I stereotyped you completely last time. I completely stereotyped you like straight away at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I assumed you were like a Muslim or a Sikh or something because you said you were from a religious family and you were like a Catholic. What? Oh. And you
No,
came
okay.
from Italy.
I grew up in a Sikh family, but I went to a Catholic school in Italy.
Oh, you didn't tell me that part, you dick.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I have recording that you. Well, I don't know.
No, you fucking don't.
Anymore. Oh, fuck.
Anyways, we're really good at letting things go, literally, when it comes to files. It's alright. I've gotten over it now.
No, he hasn't.
Honestly, I feel like this...
the look he just gave me.
And a rapey vibe to it, that look.
That's okay, that one.
Yeah, that's...
But what were we saying, sorry? Actually, before we go into that, just quickly, the Louis C.K. thing, I meant to mention that as well.
Go for it.
Because on that one, like, did you know that literally all he did was he asked people if he could masturbate in front of them?
As you do.
Yeah, it's weird, you know. It's like weird in the sense of, yeah, it's a bit sad, like that he had to do that, but that's just his thing. And if they said yes, he did it. He had probably a big fat ass smile on his face. If they said no, he was like, okay, and they left. Didn't force them to do a damn thing. Like Sarah Silverman bitched about him doing it, but then in the next show she was like, yeah, I let him do it a few times though. He got in trouble for asking for consent.
Also, hang on.
I did write something down about this.
Before you jump into that, I just want to say, society this day and age, they reward you for having weird sexual fetishes. Yeah. If you're into like fucking transgender people, you get rewarded for it. And not that I wouldn't
by fucking transgender people, is that the reward?
Well, that's the if you're into that is the reward.
Yeah, that's the reward.
But also, society will be like, "Oh my god, you've done a great deed for society." This is also a weird fetish, so just fucking, it's progressive if you think about it.
Yeah, like it is. It's just a weird kink. I know people with weird kinks. I've been with people. Like I've had girlfriends that. I know quite a few girls that have got like a kind of
they're into small cocks.
Yeah,
that was a
but that's not what I meant.
situation for you. What, really?
Well, in
I
that
got
case,
exactly.
I got what you need. I got the sausage you've been hankering for. But
the baby sausages.
Baby sausage, baby sausage. No, I forgot what the fuck I was
That's a
saying
song
now.
he wrote for his own cock, by the way. That's like.
I got a song for myself. Babyface, you just don't know how I like it. That you probably won't know this song, Baby Cakes.
I don't. No.
Okay. Anyone who's like.
That's the end of that conversation.
It's a reference that I didn't think you would never get. To be fair, because you're 20.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, what was your thought on Louis C.K.?
Oh. No, nothing. It's just the fact that he's asking for consent for something, which is exactly what he's supposed to do in sex. But apparently, it was wrong for him because he just wanted to masturbate. I just find that really strange. He's getting bitched at and insulted, demonised for the fact that he asked people for consent to masturbate in front of them. Would they rather he didn't ask for consent?
Well, isn't that okay? Here's the thing. That makes sense, right? But at the same time, isn't that harassment by definition?
No, that would mean you'd have to do it more than once. As far as I know, he asked them, and he wouldn't keep asking them. He'd ask them once.
Okay.
Everything I saw.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he kept doing it, then yeah, sure, that's different. Like the people he did ask, for example, Sarah Silverman, he asked sometimes she said no, sometimes she said yes. She was into it. A lot of girls are into that power. They do.
They like watching people jack off.
No. Well,
I mean,
some do, obviously.
Listen, I wouldn't mind having an audience. That's all I'm going to say. Watch out for my next comedy show.
Don't sit in the first. People in the first few rows may get wet.
May or may not. There'll be one selected person. You can find my tour dates on my website, gurpscheema.com.
Oh, are you finding issues with getting many gigs at the moment? Because I don't think you drive, don't you? So I suppose you got that.
I got that going for me, and also just go to London. That's the main thing.
What do you mean?
Just travel to London by train.
What, and just
do gigs there?
You mean just arrange gigs and then just go to London? I thought you meant like just turn up.
Well, no, you got to arrange them beforehand. But there's loads of open mic nights where you can just like pop in, try new material, and you're done. If you go to London, you can easily do 4 gigs in a night.
It's expensive though to get a train to London, I think, ain't it?
It's £6 to get there.
Really?
If you book it in advance, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I'm at the point now where I realise I need a car to really get the stand-up side of it going a lot more, because there's just not enough in Birmingham. Like my next gig's in like Leicester, for example. Yeah,
that's the main problem. And the thing is, getting to Leicester is more expensive than going to London.
I realise this, yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. But
I suppose because London, they want people to go there and spend the money in there because it's the capital, maybe. You know what I mean? A lot of people commute there, I guess. Okay, I didn't realise it was like quite a big. I know. I don't
There's
know
a
very
massive
much.
circuit. There's like there's about 20 plus gigs every night that you can probably go to.
Because I know everyone's doing Fringe at the moment. Is that like every year around this kind of time then?
The Fringe?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all the way in Edinburgh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can go there as well. I was planning on going there.
Oh yeah.
I changed my mind last minute.
I just don't know a lot about it, man. I'm still learning it all, so it's still my first year, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Well, we jump on this new section, advice for young comics.
Yeah, go on. With Gurps Cheema.
Gurps Cheema, another young comic. Well, no, in my experience,
A bit more experienced than you are, to be fair. You know, you've been doing, like you said, a few years now.
2 years now. It's coming up to 2 years. My first gig was shite.
Oh, go on.
It was the Glee Club. Managed to get on the actual show at the Glee Club.
Was that the one for that they did the class for?
Wasn't no.
Oh, okay.
Just an actual gig.
Right, okay.
And I did 15 minutes as well. I did not have any material whatsoever.
Oh, you just jab it on?
Yeah. I fucking bombed. I did 10 minutes, then I was like, alright, okay, I guess I'll leave now. I got no sympathy from the audience.
You did, I won't.
They were like, yeah, please do. Get off the fucking stage.
That was a good experience for your first one, though, really.
I quit comedy after that for 6 months. I gave up. I'm like, nah.
I can see that. Yeah, I can understand how that. Going by some of the stuff I did right at the beginning, I can understand that.
Yeah. And
I abandoned a few sets midway. I was like, nope, this ain't working.
That's the worst thing you can do, though.
Yeah,
Abandon a set.
definitely.
Learn that now.
Same now as well, yeah.
Even if you're not doing well, just fucking stick with it. But also have some good openers that just like kill. That's my secret now. I start with my strongest stuff.
Yeah, start and finish with it.
I don't finish with it.
Oh, you don't finish it all, do you?
Yeah. That's what she said. When the fuck did she say that to you, mate? I need to track her down.
Worst problems to have.
She signed an NDA, okay? Jesus Christ,
Well,
I'm
that was
pissed
like
off
an STD
now.
then, or like not NDA, I know what that is, yeah.
She signed an STD. Introducing a new STD signed by Gurps Cheema.
No, because,
Well, have you got the Gurps Cheema exclusive?
fucking
How'd you get that?
Wow. There was a one night in Vegas, and let's just say the old theory about what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, not true.
To an extent, I guess so.
But I don't know, what was we talking about a second ago then? I forgot again. Oh yeah.
He's a podcast host, everyone.
I can talk forever, but remembering what I'm talking about, that's my downfall.
And that's what every comedian needs.
What's that?
A good memory.
No. I've learnt now how I finally. That's what one thing I was going to say. I finally realised that the problem I used to have was every time I'd do a gig, I'd have new stuff I'd want to say, so I'd write like a new set essentially. And I realised after speaking to a few of the guys that you just can't do that. You just have to have a basic set, and then you can have stuff in and around, but you need a basic set to work around before anything. Yeah,
that's the main thing.
Which I've done now, and it's really annoying me because I've got a proper set now that I'm actually really happy with for the first time. I can't fucking find a gig to do it at. It's fucking annoying. My next gig is like, I've got one on the 23rd of August, but like I said, that's the one in Leicester. So even, getting down there, none of the people from here will see it anyway.
What gig is that?
That's Who Needs a Netflix Special Anyway with Lee Astle is the one that's...
It's like a proper gig then?
Yeah, not an open mic.
Okay.
There's a competition that I did talk to someone about for the 25th, I think it was. Was that a different one?
Was that Funhouse Comedy or?
I didn't see the name. That was something I think I saw on a post that Jazz had on or something, and I asked the person. But no, there was another one since then as well. I might be confusing two there.
Okay.
Because I haven't finalised that one.
What you said is correct. You need to work on your material.
Yeah.
However, I'm going against that now.
You are, yeah.
Because of that comedy experience, which you can watch right now on my YouTube channel.
Have you actually got episodes on now?
I got one on now.
Okay, cool.
And I got 3 already edited and ready to post. So they'll be rolling out every Wednesday. Now, hopefully.
Oh, so at least you're doing it in advance, so you're giving yourself a bit of like leeway time in between.
Just in case anything does
That's
come
good.
down.
Yeah.
And it's not though, because it's fucking challenging. You need to writing a new set every week is fucking stressful.
I can imagine. I'm guessing you're having to use like just general topics in the news and stuff, topical humour.
That's the thing, yeah. I'm talking about Area 51 now. That's next.
Oh god.
That'll be in 2 weeks' time. That's the new episode.
Oh, so you're having like a theme for each one then?
Yeah, to an extent.
Oh, okay, that makes a bit more sense.
I'm actually approaching this from a marketing background. I fucking hate marketing. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to society. However,
marketing's always been there. So marketing's always been in society, arguably.
Well, fuck marketing.
Yeah,
don't like
it's always been there.
It has. It's
the Bible.
Fall of society, everyone.
The Bible is marketing, really.
And they've done a heck of a job with it.
They've done a hell of a job.
Fucking
the original Game of Thrones, as I call it.
Just waiting for the...
One's about magic and wizards and miracles with a really shitty ending, and the other one is Game of Thrones.
I can't believe like people with the Old Testaments were just like waiting for this season many. I'm kind of disappointed though.
Oh, that King James one horse coming.
What are you saying? That you're telling me they resurrected Jesus? That wouldn't happen.
Oh, yeah,
It doesn't make sense from that logic.
It can't happen. Trying to tell me a guy
Lazy writing. I call that lazy writing. Okay.
Trying to tell me a guy can walk on water but can't get himself off of a piece of wood.
So yeah, basically, yeah, that's fucking thing. The thing is, what I do is I look at what's trending at the moment, make a fucking video on it, and hopefully that kind of kicks off. And that's called the comedy experience. And you can.
I love that concept. That's a really cool idea. It'll be hard to do, like you said, but
one of the videos actually avoided bombing, and that was actually very fucking interesting.
wait, what?
London, South Ken.
You avoided a bombing?
I avoided not a fucking terrorist bombing. Jesus Christ!
Didn't know what I thought you meant. What? That'd be a hell of a set.
No, basically,
Bombs going up around you, you're just like, oh,
and I was just there doing
this,
comedy. Yeah. They're doing a fucking bombing. Okay, anyways.
The roof is on fire.
It was in South Ken. The first 9 comics went on.
South Kensington, is that?
Yeah, so
Okay.
every single comic out of those 9 bombed. The audience wasn't having any of it.
Kind of make, if you can look around the room, sometimes you can figure out why. You know what I mean? If there's a certain kind of humour that hasn't been touched upon yet.
And that's exactly what I thought.
Reading the room. Yeah.
That's what I did. It's in the video as well because I do a commentary on it.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, you know what? They're not looking for safe material. They want dark shit.
It's usually how it goes, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's usually what it is.
So I jumped on. I had a set prepared
Good
about
man.
like positivity and being all fucking a social justice warrior. I ditched that.
Yeah.
In a
Good man.
rift. I was like, fuck it. I'm giving them exactly what they want.
Full on blue.
And he fucking killed.
Good man, good man. I hate comics. That's the one thing that when you were saying earlier about how PC culture is killing comedy, it's only killing the comics that haven't got the balls to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if anything is weeding out their week.
And it was fucking scary as well because
Yeah.
I didn't fully know they were looking for that. But
Yeah,
every
yeah.
other comic, these comics were going on and riffing about civil rights and that kind of bullshit, and no one was having it. Yeah, just like black people or something. My first joke.
Oh, black people.
And now you can laugh and applaud because I'm looking for a standing ovation and just patting themselves on the back. My first joke was about Area 51, and I said 2 million people signed up for that. There were only
for the takeover thing. Yeah,
exactly.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And there were only 250,000 people on that civil rights movement march in 1963. In the civil rights movement.
Oh, with the general. Okay, yeah.
In America, yeah,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in '63, only 250,000 people went on that.
We were one of the main proponents to start that whole thing off. We abolished slavery. We were one of the first ones, England.
There you go.
Yeah,
But my takeaway was that 250,000 versus 8 million. People care more about aliens than black people. That's what I take away from this.
Or well, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, we have Facebook now. They didn't back then. You know, a bit harder to organise a march back then.
We don't need a march. We just need a hashtag. Hashtag watermelon matters.
Watermelon matters.
That's the
I had an argument with someone about that whole Black Lives Matter, that whole thing. I was just like,
He was against it. He's a fucking Nazi.
well, I was against it in the sense that I was like, yeah, all lives matter, not just black lives. And they were like, you're part of the problem. I'm part of the problem because I think everyone's as important as the other. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, I'm a dickhead.
The problem with this is people label each other Nazis. I saw the best comment on YouTube though. I think someone called someone like a Nazi, and this guy wrote, "Listen, you should never call someone a Nazi because I'm deeply offended by that. My grandfather,
Oh God.
my grandfather died in a concentration
Holocaust,
camp. In
yeah.
a concentration camp. He was drunk and he fell off the watchtower.
What? Really? I hope to God that's a true story. That actually happened to that guy. Oh, I would be so happy. Fucking hell. I don't know how to
Anyways,
respond to
moving on.
that.
Yeah, I think that's killed the vibe a bit. Let's just
No,
bring
don't-
it all up.
There was
Okay.
something I wanted to talk about, like that you were talking about in that, and then you said that, and I just was not expecting that ending at all. It
that's how
completely
jokes
threw
work.
me off. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's next? What's the next topic to discuss?
I
on
haven't
here?
got another topic after that. I actually don't think I've got another topic on here, man. When I slammed it shut before, I realised
Let's
that.
make a topic up.
Make anything like that. Something that
Let's
you
talk about paedophiles. No, I'm joking. Let's not take that far.
Man, do you? I can always talk about this. Do you like
Are you
wrestling?
a paedophile? What?
No.
How the fuck did you find out? That wasn't the plan. Anyways.
Do you like wrestling?
Sorry?
Do you like wrestling?
Wrestling? It's
Wrestling.
fake, but I enjoy it.
Well, it's every film you've ever watched is fake, sir.
Is it?
In the same way the wrestling is, yeah.
Every single film this day and age is like
Fake.
based on a true story.
No, I mean, wrestling is fake in the same sense that every film is because they decide on what's going to happen and the end and stuff
Okay.
and the storylines. So in the same way, wrestling's fake in the same way every film is fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's not a sport, obviously.
No, it's
Sports
entertaining, so that's fair enough, I guess.
Did you watch it? Did you ever watch it?
Oh yeah, as a kid I used to love it.
I'm a full-on wrestling fan still now.
My favourite wrestler was Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, Eddie
I
Guerrero.
used to
People like
fucking
that.
love that guy.
Yeah, man.
Let's drive up with like a different character.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was badass.
It was so wounded, mate. He just died randomly.
Did he kill himself or?
No. He got sober and everything because he used to be like a full-on pale head. He used to, everything, you know.
That's a good example of you should have stuck with the drugs.
Yeah, because he got sober and it was just, it ended up his heart couldn't deal with it. So he probably would have died a bit early if he hadn't have stopped anyway. But by the time he stopped, it was already done.
Okay.
And he was supposed to, the worst part was, because obviously, like I said, I know it's fake, he was supposed to win the title a few days later. Again, he'd already won it before, but he's supposed to win the main title a few days later, and then that happened, and then they used his name in storylines for so long after he died, the WWE did. Rey Mysterio won the whole Royal Rumble, and then went on to WrestleMania to win the title with Eddie Guerrero things, and driving Eddie Guerrero's lowriders to the ring each time and that. And then Randy Orton even told him that
I
Eddie was in
still haven't
hell.
seen Rey Mysterio's. No, is that the guy with the mask, right?
Rey Mysterio, yeah,
Yeah.
he's still around now.
I've never seen his face.
I've seen his face, I'll show you it.
Is he gonna be like very disappointing?
It might be very disappointing. It looks like, I don't know, to be fair. Like, I saw it because in WCW they made him take off his mask for a brief period.
So here's a question for all the viewers out there: how do you make a podcast great? You show your pictures.
Oh,
Welcome to Spotify.
this is for you, sir. This is not for them. You can Google it too, guys. I'm sure you're computer literate. And if you're not, then how the hell are you listening to this? Hold on, Ray
She said an old grandma looking for like photos of cats, and she came across this podcast, and she's outraged. Fuck, you know, it looks like a kid.
Yeah. His son is around now every now and then. And
Does
he's
his son look older than him?
His son is twice the size of him.
Fair enough.
Honestly, the same son. I don't know if you remember Eddie Guerrero and Ray had like a ladder match for the custody of the child. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember that.
Okay, there's a whole new wrestling company around now. Because you know how wrestling's gone a bit PG and a bit shitty for ages.
Yeah.
There's a whole new wrestling company started by like some of the Japanese guys, but more like Cody Rhodes and.
We got a new news on Fox News. This is keeping up with the trends.
Cool, you know, I'll talk about wrestling, but whatever. Fuck you. That's why I have a wrestling podcast starting in the next couple of days.
I think I want to get your opinion on this.
Go on.
Okay.
Throw some shit at me, man.
Okay.
I can give
Jimmy
my opinions all
Kimmel.
day.
Jimmy Kimmel,
Oh, okay.
the little American
Yeah, I know
twat,
Jimmy Kimmel.
says Americans who support Trump should be repeatedly punched in the head.
Right.
So we don't support Trump because he's violent and he incites violence.
Did they realise
So-
they voted him in? Did they realise that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No. Yeah, like the American people are, we all hate Trump. Like, you do know you're the ones that voted him in, right, guys?
Just by talking about it, yeah, it's fucking fucked up.
No, it's true. Like, because of the whole gun shooting wonder recently. The whole shootings and stuff, and obviously it's all bull, but I say all bull. Sorry, it's all
I think. Okay, listen.
harsh as hell.
I'm not into politics. I'm neither right or left. But I
I
think.
hate that concept of the labels personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many.
There's not only two genders, okay? I don't like labels.
No, I
I
mean,
think. Nah, I'm joking.
there's grey areas in between. You know, I agree with some right, I agree with some left.
Okay, I think life in general should be binary to an extent, but there's definitely grey areas in the middle, and they do encourage conversations.
I don't even understand what you said. It should be binary.
No, I said.
That's what you said.
Carl is a big fan of long words.
That's what you said. Sorry.
Sorry. What I said is, in my opinion, some stuff should be binary, as in yes or no.
Oh, okay.
The answer is one or the other.
Okay, black or white. Yeah.
Black or white.
Yeah.
But there's lots of grey areas in the middle.
Oh, yeah,
and that
yeah,
does
yeah.
encourage conversations. So that's to an extent, that's good. But everybody's picking a side, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm the guys on the fence, just looking, laughing at both sides.
A smart politician should do that. They should look at the situation.
Wait, what?
I know.
Wait.
I know.
Do
Alien
you live in a
concept.
fantasy land there?
I'm just talking about how the world should be, my friend.
Okay.
If we was in charge, you know.
Every single politician is a cokehead, sexual deviant.
You can't say that.
Allegedly. That makes it better.
Okay.
That makes it better.
No, let's rephrase it. You can't say they all are. They all most definitely are.
Okay, yeah.
Most definitely are.
Most definitely are,
Yeah.
allegedly, but not really. They definitely are.
No, I mean, Trump was saying something, like, Trump has done a lot of good stuff. He's done a lot of bad stuff.
He's done a lot of great stuff. Fucking taking Mexican kids away from their families. That's fucking awesome.
Not that.
I'm going to stand behind that every day.
No, I understand immigration, though. As much as people want... I'm fully of the opinion that people are people, whatever country they come from, doesn't matter where they're born, you should help them.
You believe people are people?
Yeah,
are you sure?
I know.
That's shocking.
I know.
I never thought people were people.
While I am here to blow your mind, sir.
Okay.
No, you know what I mean, though. Like, you know, if someone needs help, you help them, you let them into your country. But at the same time, if your country can't look after the people that already live there, should we be opening the gates to other people just because, you know...
It's turning into a BNP rally. I'm expecting like some
God.
law enforcement said like deport me back to Italy. It's a setup. It's a sting operation. I'm joking.
No, not deporting people. That's completely different. The people have already made a life here. That's different. But generally, yeah, like it's a hard thing to talk about. People don't like talking about it, but sometimes you have to shut the doors.
Areas in there, like refugees. Is there anything wrong with it? There's bad apples everywhere. In Germany, they just fucking. Have you seen that video of a fucking refugee in Germany just murdering a person with a fucking sword? Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull this shit
snuff
right
film now.
Sorry?
You're gonna show me a snuff film?
It's actually porn, but that's beside the point.
Oh, God. Snuff
no,
porn.
Hang on.
While you're doing that, what was I gonna say a second ago? It was fuck. What was he talking about then? I was about the immigration. Yeah. Another thing that bothers me, like people, they hear Trump say anything and they want to straight away demonise everything he says, which I guess because he's a bit of an idiot. Shouldn't really be president, but it doesn't mean he's all bad.
Okay.
Like he referred to racism as a mental illness. He referred to what happened in Thingy as hate and mental illness, and loads of people are like racism is not a mental illness. It's like it kind of is really. I could argue that
Yeah, because
racism.
they're fucking ignorant. That's
Yeah, it's not mental health, so it must be mental illness. Why are you showing me that?
That was fucking carried out by a. What's the actual video of this unfolding?
Hold on, let's go back. If I'm gonna.
You can't go back.
How do you go back?
You can't. No. Maybe if I.
Well, did it already happen when you started it?
Hang on. Should show up now. It's a shocking video. No, he's running towards someone else.
Oh.
Look at this. It's got a fucking sort of.
Oh, it's already done anyway. Though, look there.
Hang on, wait for it.
That's fucked up, man.
And that's a refugee doing that shit in Germany. So there's bad apples everywhere. So just to paraphrase, there
Blah. I didn't need to see that. Oh.
Don't you find that hot, attractive? Mate,
Oh,
I'm fucking turned on by that shit.
It's the picture after fine, but the seeing it be done, it's like oh.
Looks like you're wearing Crocs in that.
Yeah, you need some better.
What
shit.
are those? Honestly, they're fucking horrible.
Did you just do what are those?
What a fucking
What
jackal.
are those?
Anyways, yeah, for those of you who haven't seen this, because it's a fucking podcast, it's a refugee fucking murdering a person with a sword.
Yeah.
And this happened in Germany. So there's
When?
bad apples everywhere.
Yeah, when did it happen?
Last week.
Oh, is that recent?
Yeah, that's very recent.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about that.
Because the media's fucking hiding that shit. Because they were like, refugees are fucking great, they support the economy.
What the fuck
And
kind
that
of
shit
news have
happened.
you been watching when they say that?
The BBC, everyone supports refugees.
Oh, I don't watch BBC News, to be fair.
All the liberal newspapers, they support them. And
Well,
that's
they
fine.
support
to an
them to a
extent.
sense, yeah.
99% of them
Yeah,
are
to be
fucking
fair.
brilliant. They're going to come here, they're going to open a kebab shop. I'm happy with this.
It's nothing to do with immigrants, that's just people. There's bad people everywhere. There's bad people in immigrants, bad people in this country, that country, yeah.
And that's why I look at both sides. I see this shit unfold and I'm like, okay, maybe the right's got a point. And then I see them being racist and going to like a BNP rally, going packy bashing. And then I'm like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I'll just stick with the left here. And then the left is just like, you're fucking ignorant. You're controversial. You should die. I'm like, okay, shit. I'll just go back to the right again. What do I do? It's a fucking.
It's especially stupid when you think about places like America bitching about people coming into their place when their own young children can go, like a 21-year-old can go and buy a gun over there. Like, you're a mature guy. I still wouldn't want you to go and buy a gun.
Why not?
Well, actually, to be fair, yeah.
I just got mine on eBay.
But you know,
It's coming down. It's got one bullet on it, and it's got the. If anyone deletes this fucking podcast, I'm for you, okay? You better fucking post this shit.
So the bullet's got my name on it. That's it.
Not yet. We'll find out. No, I'm joking. Okay, I'm just about writing this bit because it's fucking brilliant.
What?
Me switching between the right and the left.
What?
You know the bit I just made about like,
Oh, okay.
I want to be on the right, then I'm like, nah, maybe not. Then I go to the
Got
left.
you. I was misunderstanding your handwriting more than anything.
Yeah,
And he just
like...
writes down BNP.
That's got to be on there.
I'm
right?
just learning your writing method now. That's all I'm doing. You see my method? My method's just writing them down like that. I just do it on my phone. I think we talked about that last time.
I think we did actually mention that. Anyways, my method looked like a retarded kid brought this after he just went swimming. It's can you say retarded at this day and age?
Oh, who cares? I was about to say you can't say retarded in a full weight. Fuck it, why not? That word just meant an idiot when I was a child. Why can't I say it anymore?
Exactly. And also, isn't that like a sign?
Oh, you retard.
Oh, you fucking retard.
It doesn't mean
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking faggot. We don't mean that he's actually sucking guy's cock there. It's just like he's been a faggot.
Yeah, it's like you're acting a bit camp, aren't you?
Even
That's
that.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. It's just like, hey, you want to go to the pub? No, fucking faggot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's nothing camp about that. There's nothing.
Someone, it might have been Norm Macdonald again. He was saying about that kind of point, and he was like, "Oh, I used to say to my friends, like I'd be like, you're gonna come down to the pub and have some drinks," and they'd be like, "No, I'm gonna stay and have a night in with the wife," and I'd be like, "Hey, you're gonna stay with the wife, you fucking faggot." I mean, no sense at all, but it just works.
Anyways, the clock has hit 6:30. We're gonna leave you.
Oh, is it 6:30?
Yeah.
Oh shit, sorry, dude.
So
You need to get off, don't
on
you?
a positive note.
Yeah, man.
So let's just spread some positivity.
Positivity. This
Just
will
go with a
actually
prostitute
get.
and become HIV positive. It's the kind of positivity
Are you
we're
sure?
looking for.
Are you positive? You HIV positive?
Anyways, thank you so much for having me, Carl.
Thank you very much for coming down again. I'm sorry about what happened before,
It's
but
alright.
this will get uploaded.
It's not
Don't
as
you
if
worry.
there's a gun with your name on it. There's a bullet with your name on it.
Not as if you're holding a gun to my head right now. Somebody help me.
It's not a gun, it's an AK-47. Anyways, yeah, you can follow my Instagram, it's Gurps Cheema, and my Twitter, that's Cheema Gurps, and my YouTube channel, that's Gurps Cheema, or my website, that's gurpscheema.com.
You got a website?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ah, did you buy the domain?
Next level.
I need to see this.
And
I'm
then
going to steal all your methods.
yeah, just fucking copy and paste it. There's another comic called Gurps Cheema. What?
We should link all the stuff in, cross-market it all in there. Now, if... Yeah.
I'll put that shit on my website, yeah. And then my YouTube channel, and then my LinkedIn as well. That's also Gurps Cheema. I'm all over the fucking place.
Yeah, I don't even know what most of those things were.
Exactly.
But
you
yeah.
can also find me on the phone book. That's Gurps Cheema.
Or
you can find Carl on the registered sex offender list.
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can also find me in a tent behind your mum's house looking through the bedroom window.
Hey! Alright, thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Thank you very much, man.
Now.
Much love to everyone out there. Much love to you. Peace.
Peace out.